What's up, everybody? Welcome to the round 22 fan cams. After a 95-point loss at the hands of the Port Adelaide Power. Not even in your wildest dreams, really. 5 goals, 15, 45 to 21 goals, 14, 140. Real nice way to send off Mark Murphy, but real nice way to represent the fans and the club. Just a lot more pain. What can you say? Honestly, what can you say? It's getting really hard to front up when seemingly they're not able to front up for us. It's really difficult. But we're going to do it anyway. Fan cams, you all know how it works. Come on, absolutely say your piece, share what you're feeling, and we'll go from there. I just want to, where are we? Just want to send the link. What's going to happen is I'm going to put the link in the comments shortly. Those of you who want to jump on, I'd love to talk to you. If you've never been on before, would love to get you out here as well. If you're new, basically I'll have a link, hit the link. You'll go into a little waiting room. I can only fit 12 in the waiting room. So if you don't get in straight away, just be patient. I'm happy to hang around for a while because I ain't got nothing else to do, to be honest with you. But it's just, it looks like the last 2 weeks of the season is just going to be therapy for us. That's really what this has all become. So before we start, I just want to ask one question, just one.
Come on! When is it going to end, Robbie?
When is it going to end? Let's start with the pommy. Mate.
I've got deja vu from the Adelaide game. Like, I'm that angry, man. Like, all I can say really is quite simply, Josh Honey kicks a goal, Carlton's are 23 ahead. 19-10, 124 to 8 points is what we went. All I'll say right now is I know David Teague, if he actually hands in his resignation, he doesn't fucking get paid. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat right now, whatever the fucking price is, we could have a whip round. Because if his press conference isn't, I'm going now, because they can't do that again. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was capitulation in the fourth quarter. That is as close to a side I've seen give up. Actually give up. Like, Shannon was crying, bro.
But this
Shannon
is the
was
problem.
crying.
This is the
Shannon
problem.
was crying.
People feel so passionately about the club, and it's just not reciprocated. Maybe I'm being unfair on David Teague, but I didn't see him with the phone in his hand at any point today when the camera
Mate,
panned
he
in.
was sat fourth quarter on the freaking sidelines looking biscuit-arsed.
What are we dealing with here? All right, we're on demand. The big boys are out, understood. To be fair, started off brilliantly, really solidly, bit of energy, and then it required a little bit of it's a game of chess. You've got to make moves. And
Mate, 19 goals unanswered. The world record is 23, right? The world record is 23.
What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Like, honestly, you can't support him. I mean, I saw a post earlier from fucking someone on Twitter, and they were like, T's got 2 games to save himself, and I'm proudly Teague in. Teague in? Is she mad, fam?
My mum's Teague in. Is she mad?
Honestly, I can't even be angry because like Adam Sard isn't even a Carlton fan, and the cunt's crying on the sidelines, bruh. Do you know what I mean? Crying, bruh. I saw Fisher after the game do like some kind of secret handshake with one of his boys at Port Adelaide. I don't know what he's secret handshaking. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe you should secret handshake and fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can make all the excuses you want. Players out. Do you know what I mean? Players are out. Fucking, the weather's not very good. Whatever bollocks you want. COVID is probably Carlton's most favourite excuse because evidently COVID fucking affects the way you play football. But that was a lack of heart and intensity. And if I hear David Teague in this press conference say, oh, I've got faith in the players. I've just seen 22 blokes who have zero faith in him. Zero faith. There's moments where you see Kennedy break through the middle and he goes to hand pass it and then he kicks it down the line, which says to me that he knows he's going against his instinct to fulfill a decision. That is purely structural. You saw teams this year, Hawthorn did it today, depleted side, lost Jaeger, who is their contested bull. They still managed to find a way, don't they? They still need to find a way. Like, these are elite level footballers. It doesn't matter if you've got one player or you've got 1,000 players out. They should all be relatively good enough. All relatively good enough.
But bro,
100-point loss, nearly.
Yeah, but bro, Clarkson knocked out somebody when he was 19 years old. So, you know, it doesn't mean that.
That's great. I mean, North Melbourne's rivalry to Carlton's Mickey Mouse. I mean, tell you what, even Rangers fans, when we were shit and getting battered, we still would have freaking listened if someone brilliant wanted to coach us. There was even people wanting Martin O'Neill, who is Catholic and he's also Celtic. So the two arch enemies of Rangers, we still were like, well, we're that desperate now. We need the best. Mate, that is a disgrace. Like, I feel so sorry, not just for the fans this time, but Mark Murphy, because he actually had that smile on his face that was acceptance, that he got used to it. Like, it looked like there was no disappointment in his eyes because this is what he's done. And I'm sorry to say it, you can make as many excuses as you want. You can try as hard as you want to like Teague. You can try as hard as you want to look for imaginary issues. Do you know what I mean? But the facts, cold hard facts are, in the world of sport, you're the head coach, you get the bullet first. It's a good method as well. It's worked in the history of sport. Do you know what I mean? Some very good coaches who have actually achieved something with their lives have been bulleted in the head and sacked because they're not good anymore. So David Teague, he's achieved nothing in his career. So if he goes out, if he gets sacked, he gets sacked. He's disposable. But that is a disgrace. And whoever the new coach of Carlton Football Club is, if you're watching this, you've got a lot of fucking work to do to instill some faith and some passion into these boys. Because I tell you what, these boys are dying. Every game they play under this system is killing them more. And I tell you what, they do that one more time. If I'm Ross Lyon, if I'm Clarkson, I've got a lot of fucking work to do to build these boys back up, because that's 2018, 2017 stuff. That's 2018 stuff when we were told this time next year will be better. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, man. Like, please, David Teague, if you have an iota of shit about you, resign now. Resign. Don't listen to the idiots that want you to stay, because they're living in a dream world. You and I both know, brother. I saw your eyes on that touchline. You are so far out of your depth now that you're even making the sea drown. It's that bad. Out of his depth, man. Mark Murphy deserves to play next week. Give him another fucking chance, man, of a proper send-off. Absolute. Like, Paul took the piss in the second half, man. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you could have played the VFL team and they would have put up more of a fight, man. More of a fight. More of a fight. Absolute disgrace. And you know what? I'll give David Teague one thing. He's hoodwinked the fans, because the fans think it's a lot more hard, a lot more difficult than tactics. Let alone if you actually get off your ass and do some research and see that coaches throughout history have gone to shit sides and made them good by one change, having an idea and making that there. Watch your Carlton game, man. He has no idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrific, bruv.
Yeah.
I am so sorry to Shan that I made her watch that with me. I honestly, I apologized last week and for something I haven't done, and I'm apologizing again. I am so sorry to Shan. I wish she didn't have to do that in front of fucking 200, 300 people. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. Yeah. Well said, mate. Very numb. Very, very numb. I feel like I've just forgotten the last 2-3 minutes. Like it's a really weird feeling, but
I feel sick.
Thanks for showing up as you always do, and I'm gonna try and compose ourselves and just get through and just sort of connect with as many as we can tonight. That's what we'll do.
I love you all.
Yeah, good on you, bro. Ugur with the 10. Mark Murphy deserves so much better. Teague for sure gone. Hoping to see a much tougher Carlton next year with the new coach. Well said. The Booze Hound.
Mate, you know what's messed up is that, like, the siren hit, looked at the score, just went, cameras are on Murph. I'm just like, he deserves so much more. What a champion. And it didn't actually hit, man. Like, I screenshotted the photo of him, you know, coming off the ground or whatever. And it didn't hit until I actually because I demoted it from the TV, yeah. And I started watching it on the laptop just because I couldn't. Had a current affair going in the background just to, like, try and, you know, steady the ship. And it didn't actually hit until I emailed the photo to myself, to my phone, so I could put it up. And I actually physically scrubbed the score out just so I wouldn't have to see it every time when I post the photo up, man, as a tribute to the guy. And I took a walk, like once you said jump on, I'm like, yeah. So I took a walk, sat down, our old mate's just going now, and he nailed it right on the head. And it's making me sick. Like, I'm actually emotional now, where I wasn't before. I was just copping it. You know what I mean?
Do you know what's also scary, sad, bullshit, terrible, disgusting, embarrassing amongst the whole lot of that? He enters the competition, he enters the club in a team that was losing the way we lost tonight, and he leaves the fucking club 16 years later losing in the exact same way. It's fucking insane.
I actually I don't know if you saw it in my story, man. I put up that thing that had the win rate percentages of, like, all the captains, all the coaches we've had since post Parkin, yeah. And it's like, you know, tenure. So, like, Wayne Britton was there for a year, Rats was there for whatever, you know, blah 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 blah. And I asked the question: did any of those coaches have the list that we have today? You know what I mean? Because we've talked about it before. Like, you know, we actually have a good list on paper, you know, and is it the coach's fault? And, man, as much as I've wanted to hammer Teague, I've said the entire time, you know, it has to come down to players' efforts as well. You know, like, they're not showing it, they're entitled, they're not motivated, blah, 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 as much as that is Teague's fault, Carlton's fault, whatever, right? But look at today's game. And then just look at the score, and all that proved, man. Like, you could say we had a lot of outs, and we do. We've got a lot of outs, man. Like, I even shared it with the boys in the chat. I said, you know, out of this entire list, you know, how many of them? Most of them would be in our top, right? Like, how many of them that are out are actual significant out? Yeah. But then you look at it. We're playing well. Momentum hits, turns around, and then we fall to pieces. Which is what we've been doing. We've been doing the entire time under Teague, which goes to prove, like Tom said, there's no game plan, there's no structure, there's no strategy going forward. Like, you know, call an audible, man. Do something. That is what a coach does. Clarkson's good at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what good coaches do. They call audibles. They stand up and say, all right, shit, something's changed. We need to change game plan. Because what will come, we had the whiteboard, Stanton had his freaking iPad out, and they had their plans, and they were drawing little cones for the rest of the week. And then, you know what? It was working. Port stood up, changed the game plan, and said, all right, this is what you're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And that's what they did. Mate, I can't, man. I don't want to monopolize your time tonight, man, because I really don't have much more to say. I was going to say, man, if you come in for a chat on the pod, let's not talk about Carlton, man. Let's talk about let's talk about something else, man. I don't care.
You know what? Let's do it. We'll shoot the shit. Anything you want to talk about? I mean, I know the conversation will end up becoming about Carlton, but I need like what's the Greek word? Issachia. Like I need fucking peace, bro. I need like this year has just been a fucking shit show. Period.
I mean, dude, honestly, I was looking, watched the match. I thought, you know what, man, Dixon did jack until they gifted him that first goal of his. He had one touch, one possession, one kick, literally with that goal. Yeah, took him 2 quarters to get a kick, and I'm thinking, sweet, Weeders is all over him. You know, it could be good if we've managed to nullify that clown. I hate him. And then by the end, he was just laughing. Got what, 5 for the day?
Yep.
And it's just like, man, I wasn't emotional until right now, man. When I sat down, palm started going. I was just thinking about it. Like, we've got 1 more week of this. Yeah. I haven't got it.
I'm
petrified. Murphy, man, dude, I'm too emotional, bro. I can't.
No, I feel you. But no, it's good. It's good to get you on. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Nah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Speak to you soon. Brody, list management decision starts in 7 days. The club must determine who is coaching today. 15 uncontracted players that the new coach needs to consider. It's not a bad point at all. All right, Riley, Mr. Blue Abroad Saturdays.
You know what's amazing, mate? We have farewelled some really, big players over the last couple of years, and the best farewell Carlton gave was to Bryce Gibbs. I've never been so disgusted in my football club in my life, and that is saying something. I'm one of many. I've got a Mark Murphy Guernsey, and what this means to me is toughness, grit, class, being for the club. And I don't know how many people can say right now within the club that for that. It is heartbreaking. It is galling. The arrogance of David Teague to come out earlier in the week and say, have the courage to back me in when we continue to dish up that shit as a football club is amazing. The arrogance of the board to come out and say we need to protect good Carlton reputations and not release this review, at least in some part overview, is amazing, considering that their reputations continue to get torn to shreds by this football club when we play. What about the reputations and the support of the members? What about us? We continue to bleed and give and give and give, and we've had so many servants over the years continue to give and give and give. It's just the same shit, mate. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. It's nights like these where I'm sure deep down, you, me, so many others, wonder why the fuck do we bother? Why do we bother? It doesn't change. They don't care. We just sit here and we're heartbroken. I mean, Pommy mentioned before Shan, and she's not the only one. Nick Wishart types, you, Pom himself, so many different people invest so much energy into rubbish. It's heartbreaking. It breaks my heart. It breaks fucking everyone's hearts here. And, we've got so many problems that are so deep, but when, as a football club, we can't even front up for, a bit of pride in themselves, a bit of pride in the fan base. What do we have, Terry? What do we have to hold our hat on right now? What do we have?
What do we take from 2021? That a couple of the kids got better?
That's probably because, and that's great. It's amazing you say that. Probably the 2 people that look like they gave the biggest shit today were Corey Durden and Brody fucking Kent. They're on debut.
Yeah.
Terry, it's just, It hurts me. It's unbelievable that we continue to go through this same pattern, and it's just the abject failure and insanity from inside those four walls. From so many different areas. And you know what Pommy said, you know, he wouldn't get paid if he did it, but the honourable thing, amongst many things, would be if David Teague resigns. You cannot survive that. You cannot continue to let this happen. You can't. I don't care how many players we had out today. It doesn't matter who we put out there. We lose the same way. We play the same way. We show the same sort of things. It's whatever's going on right there now is so broken that for a list that we all say has talent, there are guns, there are footballers that can seriously play, it all just still turns to shit. Like it's like it's like my boss tells me at work, I don't care if you have the best ingredients in the world to make a custard. If the chef can't cook, it'll taste like shit. It's what we're producing. Mate, I don't know. I'm at a loss, mate. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for Murph. I'm heartbroken for the supporters. I'm not heartbroken for the people in that joint because they continue to dish this shit out.
And get paid.
Like, they get paid. They get paid a lot of good money. They, at the end of the day, it's and
you know what's interesting? The guys that get the most amount of money on their contracts are the guys that we wrap up in cotton wool and save them for next year. Isn't that interesting? Like they've really done so much this year. I find that fascinating. The highest paid players are the first ones to be wrapped up in cotton wool for the next year. It's fascinating to me.
It's fascinating, and basically, I sort of interpreted your language when you say it's fascinating. It's borderline disgusting because it continues to happen in this culture. It breeds a culture of failure. Anyone who says that Carlton's culture is good, and I've seen comments out there of this, as have you. If you continue to say Carlton's culture is good, I'm sorry, you are delusional. You are dead set delusional because a good culture does not continue to stand for that shit that we produce. And that's not the first time. And you know it's not the first time. If that was a one-off, it's like, Jesus, that's bad. But this happens so often. It's just the margins are different. It's the same thing, mate. I'm actually glad the season's over, almost. Thank God. Because they drain so much energy out of us all. It's not funny. That we continue to just invest into absolute shit. Yeah. And, we know there's so many people there at the moment that won't be there next year, which, will bring more fascination into 2022. But whoever's got it, Pommy said it, from the head of football, coaching perspective, because none of the coaches will be there. New playing group elements again. They've got an enormous job ahead of them to fix this, because I actually find this year more disappointing, considering expectations and all that, than 2018 when we won 2 wins and we lost to GWS by 105 points when they had 16 players on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for this morning, mate, and thanks for all the hard work you put in as well, and time and energy to love the club. And I hope that one day the club can repay us, you, and everyone that puts into the club.
I agree. And just lastly, Murph, we love you. I'm sorry we couldn't get up for you today, but you've been a champion of this football club, and thank you for providing some of the best football memories that I've had. So thanks, mate.
Good on you, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Speaking of Murph, I can't hear you.
Hey.
How you going?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I mean, I'm not surprised that we lost.
No, I'm not either.
I'm really surprised that, especially after the way we started, I'm really surprised that it became what it ended up becoming. Like 95 points. Like that's, you start a rebuild after you lose by 100 points, like, what do you say?
This has to be our worst defeat since that GWS game.
Yeah.
And Murph doesn't deserve this. We as supporters don't deserve this. And I'm sick to death of them where they can just think that they could just rock up like that and play the football that they did. Because I'm sitting there on a live on Facebook bawling my fucking eyes out because my favourite player is retiring and that's how they repay him. Nah. Sorry, you've lost me. Go away, go do your summer program, do whatever you need to do and come back and actually be a football club. Not a pack of individuals. Because that's all I saw in the second half. A pack of individuals.
Yeah. Breaks my heart to see you like that. But
what
You
else
know,
can we say?
you know, I haven't even seen the footage of Murph walking off the ground. I refuse to look at it.
Oh, that's where it got me. That's where it got me.
I haven't looked at it.
I lost it.
I had to come in here, and I didn't want to see it before I came in here because who carried him off? Just out of curiosity.
Cripper and Kerno. Ed
Cripper.
Kerno. Cripper came on the ground and carried him off. Yeah.
Ah, great. Thanks, Cripper. Appreciate it.
And Ed Kerno actually cried. So I'm gonna cry. It's just not the way you want him to finish.
No.
Not the way I wanted him to finish.
Yeah, but you know, it's what they did to him. It's what they did to the fans, the club. Who knows? Maybe this is, unfortunately, this might just be the pain that we need to go through again and again and again until the club looks within and gets it right. And everything that's happening externally, that's looking to infiltrate internally, the club have nobody to blame but themselves for it.
No, not at all. And anybody who thinks that it was all the players today, it wasn't all the players today. You could just see David Teague was sitting on the bench and he was sitting there with his arms crossed. It's the body language. It's like he's already checked out. Like, you sit there with your arms crossed like that, you've checked out, mate. You know you're not there next year. Like, have a little heart. Show something. Like, we didn't kick a goal for the rest of the game after Honey's goal. Put us 23 points up. Didn't kick a goal for the rest of the game. 19 unanswered goals, Tez. 19. If they had any more time, they would have broken the record.
I don't understand how some of them get paid today. They get paid this week for that. They get paid. They pick up a fucking wage for that. It's unreal. It's unreal.
God, if I could get paid for that effort, I'd be a millionaire. I would never play football again if I got half of the wage that some of those boys got in one day. Just for an attempt of kicking a football.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love these boys and I love this football club, but we were absolutely dacked today. Pants down. And when you look back on Murph's retirement, they're not going to talk about how well Murph played in that first quarter. They're going to talk about the deplorable effort of his teammates after the second half of that second quarter. And that's the most disappointing thing about it all. Because they didn't show up for Simo last year and evidently didn't show up for Murph this year. And that's what hits me. Because there's no sense of occasion.
There's no soul, there's no spirit, there's no sense of family. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
Saad did something good in that third quarter. One bloke went to him.
Yeah.
Tommy DeConning. One bloke. Just sums it up. There's no connection between the players. And I don't know if that's driven from above or just player-led. Something needs to change in the off season, and we need to come out round one and actually smash Richmond, because I think everybody's ready for a break.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
This season has been soul-destroying. I would prefer 2020, to be honest. At least we actually gave us stuff in some of those games last year.
Yeah, we had some good performances, but
it's kind of
okay. It's okay because we have a flashy new establishment at Icon Park. We've got a brand new redevelopment. It's okay. It's okay. The off-field's thriving. It's okay.
Let's hope the AFLW girls can restore a little bit of faith for us, eh?
Yeah.
One more game, Tez. One more game.
Spot on, Shan. Hey, thanks so much for joining today. I'm sorry
No
that
problem.
it was fucking hell, your first watch along. We lose by 95 points. We got to get you on again. I'm sorry, that's not the one we need you on. We want you to enjoy yourself.
Look, it is what it is, and shout out to Murph. He tried hard all day, got lost a little bit, but hey, it is what it is, and let's just hope he enjoys his retirement and gets back and gets to spend time with Jesse, Max, and Imogen, because that's what's most important now. So,
yeah,
love the baggers, hate the baggers right now. I'll go have something to eat and I'll go to bed.
Good on you, Shan. Thanks so much.
See you, Tez.
See ya. 2/3 of the JP.
Hello.
This one's for Pommy.
This one's for Pommy.
Totally poor. Everyone's to blame.
And do you know what the attitude was today when they rocked up after halftime? Don't care.
Don't care.
Actually, I will say, and I will vouch for Mars on this. Mars actually did, and there is photo evidence and text message evidence that before the game, he said Port by 94 points. So
Oracle,
Mars is the Oracle. He's on. So, oh well, what do you say? It's just disgraceful. I mean, it's laughable. I want to get everyone's spirits up. Let's get everyone's spirits up.
What a fucking joke.
Georgiades put us in a split. Dixon put us in a split. Aaliyah smashed us. Jonas taking the piss. Boke looked like he was 22 again.
The Fantasia was having pasta bowls at Nonna's.
You gotta laugh, Terry. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
We are literally. This has become like a documentary
of shit,
of insanity. People going like human beings going insane. Like, we're psychotic.
All you heard was 16 times. It's terrible, isn't it?
Bro,
I mean, it's just like look. The side that went out today was never going to win, right?
No,
we all
no
knew
chance.
that, right?
No,
But
no.
what perplexed me was like, how do you go from 23 points up and in complete control of the game? We've conceded how many in a row? 19 goals in a row? What is going on? What is going on?
19 straight. It's just 19. They had like 62 inside 50s and they scored 40 times.
Oh, my golly. Mate, I don't know what's going on, mate. I'll tell you what, like, Swoop Luke and a journo I know as well were saying, Moore's better than Wiedering after that. Mate, I'll tell you what, they could have had the security guards from Fort Knox in our defensive 50 today, mate. They weren't defending anything. The way it came into, I mean, like, just, what do you say, mate? I don't like it. What disappoints me the most is when people put their feet up in the face of adversity. That's the bit that crushes me, really. Like, it's how do you go from what you were doing in the first, 35, 40 minutes to what they dished up?
But they didn't kick a goal for 3 quarters.
And you know what it was? The funniest thing was? You just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You just knew it was going to happen.
When the camera panned to Teague, the 7 times that it did during the game, I think unless I've missed one, and then I started thinking, have I ever seen him on the phone? Like, have I ever seen him on the phone?
Not today.
Like,
why has he got the mask on for?
You know when your boss walks past your office and like you're not doing anything, but like you just ruffle papers or you look like you're doing something.
Yeah, you know what it is? No, you know what it is? It's the George Costanza theory. If you look annoyed, it makes it look like you're actually doing something. That's what it is.
Right.
It's the George Costanza theory. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to. I'll tell you what. The worst thing is that we've got another game of this.
Oh,
the tsunami!
The orange tsunami's coming. Oh no, it's just not good. It's not good at all. So, but the question is now, is like, okay, a new coach comes in, but I mean, it like
doesn't change it.
What's gonna? Mate, I don't know. How do you change this, man? It's like
maybe.
I don't know. Well, Pommy and I are going to put some things together that are really, really intriguing over the next maybe week or two about our drafting and our recruiting and what happened post 2018, and it doesn't make for very good viewing.
What does that say,
unfortunately.
Terry? What did Helena say in Greek there?
So this says "Siko to telefono re." It means pick
What's
the
that
phone
mean?
up re.
Pick the phone up, man. Come on, Teague. Ella. Answer, bro. Nah, I think you know what I think is a big issue for us at the moment, and you picked it up beautifully where you said all the big paid players, they've all been put in cotton wool, right? But have you noticed that all our big paid players, they're all injured. They're all like that. But the thing is, even when they do play, right? Now, hear me out with this. These players that we've picked up from other clubs as recruits, what's their output been that a draft pick could not have provided? It's not even, do you know what I mean? Like they're not doing anything that maybe an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old couldn't do, really.
With upside.
So, I mean, what's Chera going to do? What's Chera going to do? But everyone's cracking the fat over Adam Chera. What's he going to do?
Bro, you need 8 midfielders in that midfield.
I don't mind us targeting someone like that and trying to get a midfielder in, but like pick 6, really? For
If we
Chera?
give up pick 6 for Chera,
We're nuts, Terry. They're nuts. If they give up pick 6 for Adam Chera, that's desperation.
and 750 here. I mean,
Nah.
Forget it,
None
man.
of that. Just give me the picks, mate. It's done.
We're
done out of your blood.
It's
finished
gonna
blood.
be. It looks like it's gonna be Clarko or Ross by the sounds of it.
There's only one. There's only one that can resurrect this shithole.
Yeah.
It's Clarkson. You know it. There's only one. Don't worry about Ross the boss. There ain't no boss. There's only Clarkson, and that's it. You don't get him, forget about it. Round 1, another loss to a shambles of a team.
And they're a shambles too, Richmond. We thought getting within 20 points of them in round 1 was some sort of achievement.
We're fucked, bro.
You know?
This is fucked.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. What do other people think? Are people disheartened? Are they angry? Are they... I don't know. I just don't know where the club goes from now, really. Like, it looks like it is like we're going to have to go through another 2 to 3 years of pain, really. That's what it looks like.
absolutely.
So it's very, very worrying. But we'll sign up like the bananas we are next year. So what can you do? Loyalty in the face of adversity is sometimes your best friend, maybe, but sometimes it can be blind love too. But we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, boys.
A long off season ahead. Put it that way.
I know. Can't wait for Tuesday night. Get my mind off this shit.
It's going to be a big one. We'll cheer the punters up, Terry. Don't worry about that.
We'll make it a comedy act.
Yep.
Anyway.
Always. Good on you, boys.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Take care.
Joseph Adamo in his Carlton gear. Got the representation of the inside.
How's that? The first fucking time I wore this polo all year to go, fuck it. Like, you know what? I'll show up in spirit for Murph. Like, first off, when I started the 12 and 10 thing, I did say, don't be emotionally scarred, and I won't take any accountability for it when we're 8 and 14. I did say, and we will be 8 and 14. So if anyone wants to come after me, there's the disclaimer again, just off the bat. Mate, fuck me. Oh my God. Where do you start? It's fucking speechless, mate. After that,
Have we really just got a quarter and a bit now? Is that really where we're at? Is that it? That's all we've got? Is that even 2014, 13, like when it was real, like when it was bad, it was like we would just hang in there and we just weren't good enough. Oh, mate, we've got I don't know. We need many years of therapy to fix this.
Genuinely, like this is a generation of therapy, a full generation, our generation that will be going to therapy because of this club at some point. I promise you, that is fucked. I messaged you this week at quarter time. You didn't message me, and I said if we just keep this up for 4 quarters, we could win this.
I did it for a reason. I didn't want to jinx it, but I did feel it.
How does it go? I think Paolo said it before. How do you go from completely in control of the game 20 whatever points up you were to 19 unanswered. That is just fucked. That is just fucked. I've been a supporter of Teague. I can't even support that today. There's no leg to stand on after that. He was disinterested. There was, no phone calls from the box, no emotion. He sat on the ground on his own. When they got back into the rooms, he was sitting on his own. No team meeting, no fucking nothing. Like, that says one thing to me. And I've tried not to write him off before he's gone, because I feel it's disrespectful to write a coach off while he's still in the job. But fuck, all of that body language, all of those actions today just spoke volumes as to where I think where it looks like it's at. It feels like he's been tapped on the shoulder. That's it.
I kept getting these sounds in my ears throughout the fourth quarter of Mark Lejudice, who I'm a big fan of. Mark, he's a good guy, but I kept getting this sound of Mark saying at the press conference, quite simply, he could not be more ready to coach when we signed him. He could not be more ready. He could not have been any less ready to coach and change tactics on a game day. He could not have been any less ready.
I can't argue it anymore. I've tried to. I've tried to, yeah, but after the last month, it's not just today. After the last month, you can't argue it. You just can't. And I'll still stand by the fact that a head coach doesn't change the shit that's run through our club. It's not just that. It's deeper. It's part of it, but it may be part of it, but it's so much deeper. Oh my God. That is just that. And for Murph as well, like it was just fucking life imitating art. Like you said yourself.
If like Murph, let's be honest, it's really gone past him when we've all seen it, right? But if he can find something today, I don't understand how mate, I'm completely baffled. I'm completely baffled at that. He looked like he was 26 again, 27. Like, I don't know. A guy who the game has gone past him, and we've seen it all year. He's just not able to put himself in the contest. He still laid his tackle. He had a patch where he wasn't in the game, but I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not understanding some of the skill errors, some of the basic fundamental skill errors.
Decision making, mate. The decision making.
The out on the full, Lockie O'Brien, Willow, Newman, Plowman, some of these basic kicks today that they weren't like, and it's like, what is that?
I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. How did we put on the performance? And I know, again, a lot of injuries today, a lot of players on ice, like you mentioned. I'm not gonna touch that. But regardless, like, at any football club, there's a standard that's set across the entire playing list that if you step into the 22, you're ready to go. That you should be able to execute to the standards that are expected of you. And how we go from executing how we did against St Kilda for 3.5 quarters to the last 2 weeks is as baffling a fucking experiment that you'll ever see. Like, someone please do a case study on this fucking season, on this club, because I can't work it out. It is so bipolar at times. And today was a perfect example. Complete control, almost 5 goals up to 19 unanswered in the blink of an eye. And I was like, what the fuck?
The mask goes on.
How was that
no
the
movement.
same? How was that the same game that I watched? How was that the same game? Mate, I haven't even looked at stats yet. I shudder to look at the stats. I shudder to look at this stat sheet because fuck me. Yeah, there couldn't have been too many that laid a fucking tackle today. I promise you.
Well, it's funny because we laid 60 for the game.
No, that's fucked. However they are tracking tackles then, because maybe I just got to watch the game back again. But if you're laying 60 tackles in a game, you should be having a lot more stoppages and a lot more opportunities to score from stoppages than what we did around the ground. It was worse than witches' hats. That was just like, do whatever you want, Port. We're not even here. Just run through us. Yeah. And it could have been so much worse. Fuck me. The misses they had. Some of their misses. It was 19 unanswered, but please go back and have a look at how many behinds they kicked in gettable positions. Like, that could have easily been record-breaking shit today. Record-breaking.
Yeah.
I am as broken and as disappointed about this club right now as I've ever been in my life. That is a fucking disgrace.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I came on here as soon as I could in a funny, twisted way to distract myself from it, because I know that as soon as I end this tonight, it's going to be silent in my lounge room, and that's what I'm dreading the most. Like, dealing with it alone. Like, what the fuck, mate? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. But it's just a game, you know. It's just a game, and
no, this is the thing though. For some, it is, and it's been, you know, it's more than a game to a lot of people, and it's, you know what, it's more than a game for us, but for them, it's just a job.
We must be we must be big suckers to them. They must look at us and be like, look at these fucking idiots.
It's just a job, mate. It's just a job. There's no other way that they must look at it, because if it meant more to them, you know, to everyone, no coaches, players, whoever, if it meant more, you would see it. You would fucking see it personified, and you just don't. So
nailed it. Absolutely nailed it, Joe. As always,
mate. Take care of yourself. Murph did you proud today. The boys didn't do him proud, but he did you proud. Great career, Murph. Thank you for everything. A lot of memories. And we need to move on from this. We need next year, you know, we didn't have excuses this year, and fuck me, with whatever changes are made this year at the end in the off season, excuses do not exist. They just don't exist.
Yeah.
No.
Well said, brother. Look forward to listening to what you have to say on the Almost Blues Brothers podcast.
Tuesday morning. Enjoy, mate.
See you, bro. Before I get Nick and Michelle on, Thomas McGillick with the $100 donation. Mate, thank you so much. That's humbling. Mostly hated watching this team this year, but the channel's always been enjoyable, really enjoyable. Thanks, Terry, and all involved. That's super kind of you. Thank you so much. That's unreal. Nick and Michelle, our cheer squad, king and queen.
King and queen? I'll take that. Where do you start?
There's only 4 quarters left.
I fear for next week. I fear.
Same, ready 350th.
GWS are up in a bed, aren't they? That's going to be. I think, was it Riley just before spoke about when we played them a couple of years ago and they had 16 on the field and still won by 100 points? That's a chance. I reckon they could turn up to 14. Look, not good. Rather than, I'm going to be really honest, I can't comment on the game. The second half, I was busy making dinner and rage tweeting and stuff like. I didn't even see it, so I can't tell you how bad it got. I looked up, saw the score. Oh, yep, sweet. I saw him get chaired off, Murph. You said you didn't see it, so for a bit of context, Ed Kerno was in tears, and I strongly understand and think that he knew that he and the rest of them can't look Murph in the eye or not. You can't dish that up for a mate and then look your mate in the eye.
No. You know what's crazy, Nick? You say that because that what you just said, which I totally agree with, but what you just said comes from like what you would say to a family member, and it's powerful and it's emotional, it's meaningful, but I don't see that from them. You know, I don't have that. Like, oh, we can't let this happen for our family. Like, it just, and that doesn't take. Is a new coach? Look, I'm not saying David Teague's the man, but like, is a new coach going to fix that? That's crazy to me.
I'll hand up, sorry, whoever it is that just tweeted it. Someone just tweeted the best part about Clarkson or Lyon or whoever's going to take over. They know that, A, the list isn't terrible. but they know that they're coming in as the alpha and that no one can question them. They're going to come in with total autonomy over the entire place. And I'm not upset with that, because whether it's Clarkson, whoever it is, coming in will have total right, and so they should, I think, to just go swinging and saying, here is the benchmark, you are not up to it, fall in line or fall out. And I think that is above all what's needed. And now I'm not saying, I'm not going to pinpoint any individuals, and because it's easy, because a handful of our lesser players would just, I mean, their papers are probably stamped, but they're stamped now after today. But I'll include the senior players as well. Your tone has, kind of pointed at leadership or lack of. Someone who's won 35 games in their career earlier in the last year going, the Baggers are back, the Baggers are back. They've got 35 wins in his career. That's the standard that is currently being set for the rest of them. So if the best player is doing that, I don't blame the 30th or 35th best player on the list kicking it out on the full a couple of times, or fucking up, or shirking a contest or whatever, because they're not being taught any better by anyone demanding any better. What do you think?
Not a lot. I don't want to talk about it.
What was your positives today?
I like Durden. He was good.
How good's Durden?
He hits hard. When he hits, he goes into hurt.
Yep. He's little, but he'll get there.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to his lovely partner, Alexis, who is in Victoria. So the whole family obviously was there, and she couldn't be there. And I was watching her story on Instagram. I was like, you obviously want to be there for that debut and all the hard work he's put in. He's such a good kid, good family, and hopefully we can turn things around before the losing, soulless culture seeps into the kids like Walsh and whatnot.
My only hope is that someone like him and Kemp today as well, and I thought Honey showed a bit early and stuff. Obviously, I can't expect Honey to keep up 4 quarters of that when the ball just doesn't go in there for the next 2.5 quarters. But there's glimpses, whatever. Hopefully they turn around and look at this sort of thing and they go, "Oh, that sucked. I don't like this." Like, it's not too late for them. They still have culture ingrained into them. I hope that they turn around, and they're the ones I want this to hurt. I want this to really hurt those kids, for them to turn around and go, "This sucks. I don't want to borrow this anymore. How about next week? I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen to me again, because that really wasn't fun. If this is what footy's meant to be, I don't want to borrow that." I really hope that it hurts them, because they're the ones that we can still teach and mold into knowing what it's like and what it means to wear a Carlton jumper.
Yeah.
Random shout out. I want to give a shout out to the Port Adelaide cheer squad and the Adelaide Crows cheer squad. As Eddie Betts was walking off the field, I saw the Port fans giving him a fair ovation.
Oh, well.
No one's given Port Adelaide fans more grief than Eddie Betts in those showdowns. Like, I think his first 6 showdowns, he kicked 32 goals or something in 6 games. Like, just gave those bastards nightmares for years. And I thought that was very classy. And I also found out that the Adelaide Crows cheer squad turned up and were sitting with Carlton people apparently at the other end of the hill. They've got a bit of a mutual hate for the Power fans, but also they wanted to see off one of their heroes and champions as well. And I just reckon that's really classy. And on a day where I'm feeling shitty about everything and hating life and hating footy, there's a few people showing a bit of class and, giving me some hope that there are good people and that things in footy do matter and sentimentality is still a thing, because, we still feel things and so do they apparently. So, I just thought that was a bit of a positive that I wanted to speak into the universe.
Love it, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. I don't know what we can do to enjoy the rest of the night other than go to sleep. Ice cream is also a good choice. Pizza's not a bad idea. And we'll catch up from there. We'll move on from there and just hope that it's not as bad next week.
Not for Eddie's 350th.
No, I think Lee Power will do a good job.
I need to see Stanton. I need to see Stanton coaching next week. I need them to do it.
Putting an Essendon bloke in charge, you reckon is going to fix? Fuck, that would be a piss.
Oh dear. Anyway,
but the
take it
ultimate
easy,
trial.
guys. Yeah.
Bye.
There you are. Benjamin with the 5. Thanks for the therapy. You're very welcome. It's very much therapy for me as well. Was I angry with the 8? Sorry, Teague, time to go. Take the board and your assistance with a fresh start. Clarko clean out. Thank you very much, mate. All right, Mark, Mad Dogs 3.0. Where will this go? Nobody knows.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate.
Hello? Oh, right. It's just because the last 2-3 weeks there's been some problems.
All right.
I'm in mourning, mate. I'm in mourning, just like the 82,000 members that we have at this club. I mean, it's a religion that we support this club. You know, this goes back to our parents for when they were successful, for what it meant to be a ruthless, aggressive club. And the biggest fear is that what are we going to pass on to the next and the next after that? We're just going to be like an expansion club, really, because it's not the DNA of what the Carlton Football Club would stand for. Now, look, I understand that we had so many out, but that's not the excuse for that, because everybody's already pretty much covered that up. But the manner in the way that Port Adelaide were able to kick, as Hutto would say, 13, but 19 goals in a row. I don't think that's ever happened to our club ever. Obviously not in our lifetime of existence in this world, nor ever in the club's history. You could probably look that back into the records. I could probably categorically say 100% without a fact, and just about everybody else, that this club has never had a consecutive amount of goals kicked on them in a row, ever, in the near 160 years that this club has been in existence of the AFL/VFL. Well, VFL/AFL. If I do take the sunnies off a bit, just to share a bit of light with everyone, I have something right here that we haven't been able to use at all this year. You know what this is? The membership. The membership. Kiss of death can just go and fuck itself, because all the money that we have poured into this club, just remember, before this year it even started, we got them out of debt. We got them no longer as a assisted AFL club. Some may beg to differ, that may be the case or not the case. But anyways, right? We support the club, not just financially, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, like all the emotions you can think of, right? It's hard to really explain them all, but I think I know where I'm getting at here. But I saw Hawthorn today, ever since they made the shock call of getting rid of Alistair Clarkson. Do you know what they've done since, Terry?
Yeah, they've
Does
won.
everybody want to know?
Yeah, they've won.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
3 in a row. They've beaten the Bulldogs this year. They've beaten Sydney in Sydney. They've even beaten Brisbane. They drew with Melbourne, who obviously had made every team their bunnies throughout the years, but even against a primed Melbourne, this Hawthorn team is. They drew to them. And we have had no relevancy wins at all this year. Like I said, they've all been sympathy wins.
Well, it goes to show. It goes to show the. I mean, we're comparing the coaching now. Clarko and Teague. I watched the Hawks today, and they never let the Dogs in the game. And you know, how much do you apportion to the players? But I really do think Clarko had a big part to play in that today. The way they set up, the way things were moving, rotating all game. You're right, and unfortunately, we just don't have tactical nous at our club. We just don't. So
it's fascinating, Terry, how we're all seeing the same thing. Not once he's ever been on the phone, nor he's gone to a certain player, or let's say shirt front him, for example, say, right, you need to stick tight with your man and really shut him down. Was there any danger of stopping Alia? What was to not say, have Casbolt or even Mitch McGovern just to try and negate him, or anyone for that matter? Because he was
that's the scary part. That's the scary part, because we had Casbolt, Curnow, and McGovern. All right, 3 big enough boys. But I think even I mean, I was saying it, and obviously for us, it's very easy. We're the fans, we're the armchair experts. But throughout that third quarter, I was saying, all right, let's see Stocker for 10 minutes. Let him go next to Ollie Wines. Let him get a feel for what a real contested bull is in the competition. Let him pick just something that he can use in the preseason that he can refer to mentally and say, all right, that's what Ollie Wines does. Just little things like that. Even Kemp. I mean, I think Kemp went forward at one point in the fourth quarter, so there was that. But just you hit the nail on the head. We're seeing the same thing.
Well, Stocker as well, or let alone, you know what, Durden showed so much more second and third, fourth efforts, and Honey was the same as well. But again, isn't it fascinating as well, Terry, that it's the blokes that are on maybe 70, 80, or even 100K that put in more heart and effort. And to obviously when Palm and Shannon and the co said earlier that all the more expensive type players are in cotton wool, do we start thinking to ourselves, and if we're, again, comparing to the Storm, how they've won more games in a row than the amount of goals we conceded today, that's even ironic. I just feel that if I had it my way, in my view, I know everyone's different, I'd say the most expensive bloke at the club should be no more than 500K. Why? Because don't let money be the entitlement of your lives. These guys live the luxury of a life. And here we are busting our gut like you have week in, week out, doing 2.5 hour fan cam shows. And obviously with Riley doing the Saturdays, you doing the Blue Abroad Monday shows, the Jumper Punch boys on a Tuesday, and all the other guys, which, they do the Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not sure who their names are. But anyways, you get the point, right? You put in that much work behind the scenes for the love of for the club, not for the money, not for any other sort of greediness. I mean, look, everyone has their own way of earning a living, but the point is, it's all from here. From here. How we all come on to this show to really put our step forward into whatever we think. And I really don't know what's next, Terry, because it's obviously Teague's worst defeat ever as coach. Were we expecting the result to be like this? Possibly, yeah. But the manner to have that many goals in a row, like you wouldn't have thought, okay, after 5 or 6 or even 7 or 8, is there any chance of kicking one? Or even just trying to get around a teammate? Yeah, I know. Like,
it's part of the culture, and it's a struggle, and we don't have it right now. And it's true.
It's a cancer culture, Terry. It's a cancer culture. I mean, in every sport that I've played, whether it's through footy and cricket, I'm always getting around all teammates, regardless if we've been belted or we've had big wins. You've got to obviously show arm in arm and show that there is care and empathy, no matter what. Because for these guys, it's going to be just like any other year, I'm sure, another long, big preseason. And you know what? If that means for some of us fans that, let's say, our favourite player, whoever that may be, I mean, we're all loving Walsh, really, but if there's a harsh reality of someone that's going to potentially be dropped during next year, or even, let's say, a cutthroat decision, let's say, for example, Sard or Williams. I mean, I don't know. But good, successful clubs make the bold decisions and don't take any shit. If that means you have to give up a gun and trade them off for 2 to 3 half-decent average players, but they show a lot more effort, you do it. Rip the Band-Aids off. You got to bite the bullet.
Yep.
And because 7 coaches, and to possibly be number 8 is just not good enough. Not good enough at all.
No, it's not. It's not. Mark, I need to move on. You've spoken very well. Thanks very much for improving on last week. You did a very good job, and look forward to
I
seeing
know I
you
was a bit
again.
controversial in that, but obviously you know that it's all
All
coming
good,
from
mate.
the
All
heart.
good. Let's.
And one last thing as well.
Yes,
It's
yes.
sadly, one last thing as well. It does hurt that in 2 days' time, it happens to be my 30th birthday. Not the celebration that I would have loved, but at the same time, bring on 2022. And boys, if you do the same insipid effort like that next week against the Giants, regardless who's in or out of that side, how will pay.
Awesome, mate. Happy birthday for 2 days' time. All the best.
Thanks.
See you, mate. All right. Jimmy.
What to say? Unfortunately, Port Adelaide ruined another 300 gamers game.
Do you know, I'm going to read you out a stat. Where is it? Oh, I've lost it. It was like the greatest losing margin. Oh, here it is. The biggest losses in major milestones in VFL, AFL history. So coming in at first is Jay Schultz. In his 100th game was a 165-point loss. Mark Murphy's 200th game, we lost by 138 points. Mark Murphy's 300th game, we lost by 95 points. Just to start that off right there.
Yeah, that's not good. And the fact that Port Adelaide ruined Simo's 300th as well, a few years back as well. Yeah, what can I say? I'll be right off the bat. I mean, I've been critical of Murphy myself, but he didn't deserve this today. No way in hell. The guy got there, however he did. But yeah, I mean, to put out that effort in the first quarter, give us, that little bit of hope. Of course, we knew we weren't going to win it, but to lose it by that much just stung. I don't know. It's the young guys. I mean, the positives. I'll talk about the positives. I mean, Honey, Durden, they all showed some promising signs there. A lot of the young guys, the new batch, the young guys looking good. But then you get players like a McGovern on a heap of money, struggling to get I think he kicked one, was it? But then he missed a pretty simple one as well. I don't know what Charlie did on his first shot at goal, trying to bend it around. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Is there? There was talk of conspiracy theories at the club, but you got to wonder sometimes with these guys. Yeah, it was a hard one to watch. I don't know what to say. I mean, I wasn't too impressed with Fisher giving a little bit of a smirk at the end of the game.
Yeah,
the guy's been pretty disappointing to me all year. I wish he'd focus more on the footy and less on the podcast side of things. I think there's just a real lack of focus. I think it was said earlier. The only thing that's going to change something there is, like you guys said before, an alpha male to come in there and shake it up, because Teague just doesn't have it. As a supporter, as a member, I want to see something come out. What I want to see is I want to know what this review has for us. They're not going to tell us. But to tell us that a review's been done and then to sack a coach and then say, oh, what's this any different from every other year that we've been at it?
Yeah, that's interesting, because we were sort of told mid-year, don't worry, we're doing an external review. Okay, we're on it. So in a way, it was for us supporters. Okay, well, let's see. We'll do an external review and then we'll revisit this frustration, and the external reviews come out and it's not going to be made public. There's no, they can't. I just don't see how they get away with not making any statement. I can't see how they don't say anything about it. It makes no sense to me.
They've got to give us something. If they
have to,
just saying to us, oh well, Teague's no longer going to be coach of the club next year. If it goes that way, that's great. But what else are they doing internally? Because we know there's deeply rooted issues in that club that need to be fixed.
Yeah,
we could swap a coach every 2 years and it won't make a difference. They might perk up for a few games and win a few, but it's not gonna change. It's the same old story over and over and over again. It's getting tiring. It's when you're seeing the cheer squad members, breaking slowly over time, then there's problems, because these are the guys that stick fatter more than any other supporter out there. And I mean, I've noticed it over the past few months. You know, posts that get made. You know, for a better word, I like to say, what is it? Nick loves to put out his positives every week. Those are there's not much coming out of those lately, and when you're seeing that, you know there's problems. And I don't know. I mean, good luck to Murph. It was a shit way to go out. It would be nice if, you know, he could say, well, I'll come out of retirement, one more game, and let's just, you know, thump GWS next week or something. But I don't know. It's need to think about it a bit more, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, spot on, mate. Very well said.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot to think about, and we're going to go through this cycle again, and we've got next week, and then we can finally stop with the weekly depression.
Yeah, on the plus side, he's only got one more week of this, and then we get to see all the clubs' preseason stuff. But hey, the good thing is the clubs at least managed to sell all the 300 game merchandise, right?
Absolutely.
That's what's important to them at times.
Oh dear, I got sucked in. I bought a stubby holder. I bought the T-shirt. I paid for Express. I haven't got it. I bought it on Wednesday, but that's okay. It is what it is. Oh dear.
You get used to them disappointing you. Don't worry.
I'm the Malacca. I need to remind myself. It's me. It's my fault.
That's right. There's 80,000 of us out there right now.
I feel you. Good on you, Jimmy. Thanks for coming on.
You too, mate. Have a good one. See ya.
You too. Rocco.
All right, I thought it was funny hat week today. I saw Mark come on. We'll change hats again. Hey, how was that? How was that, everyone, watching that? I watched it from work, and I how can you be up? How can you be up and looking all right? I wrote a message saying, Durden and Honey look good, don't they? And then everyone just went away, man. It was unbelievable, huh? This is a joke. The whole club is a joke, man. The whole club. No one cares in that club. And what's happened, it's filtered through the whole club now. This starts from the top. We keep saying it, but think about it. These players can't play that bad unless this is the rot from within, man, because no one cares anymore, because no one can put that in. No one can put in that sort of performance. No one can do that. You can't be that bad, Terry. You can't be that bad, mate. You can't be that bad. Like T, unfortunately, I keep saying it. I don't want to be like, I've been saying for a long time, he's not the right person, and it just shows. But how can you not show any emotion?
Nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. He didn't even did not move. He's got 3 body language positions. It's this.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
And then the hands on the desk. And it's
I don't get it. At one stage, I swear I looked back, and was he on the bench at one stage, I think, wasn't he?
He gave up in the 4th. God knows who was barking instructions at him. He gave up, and he had his legs crossed and his arms crossed.
Yes, and I thought he fell asleep. I thought he was sleeping. And then I had a look, and he moved a little bit, look, this is bad. As much as we're all joking about it, I think it's a little bit like we're trying to protect ourselves, but this really hurts seeing, and I can't see this getting any better anytime soon. It doesn't matter that we're going to get a new coach. Everyone knows that. This goes deep, man. I reckon we get a good coach, it might improve it a bit, but man, to get these players up to a level where they're going to be like they're going to be fighting for every inch. I don't know, man. This is going to take more than just a Clarkson, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There needs to be years of buy-in, not just a preseason. Like a preseason is important, but fuck.
Well, you got to think about it. This is 20 years of slowly decaying to this level. So how are we going to now fix this within a year or so? And anyone that says within the club, the board, the player, anyone that thinks that it's a quick fix, that's it. We're not going to get anywhere. This has to be a slow burn now because this is 20 years of decay. 20 years to get to this level. There's no way you can fix this up straight away now. Like I had a little bit of hope at the start of the year. I think we all did. We all got a little bit like, hoodwink there.
I think we tried to project it into, like, manifest it into existence rather than the reality of it happening.
And then when you look back, and we're all generals after the battle, that's fair enough, all right? We're all smart asses after the battle. I understand that. But now when you look back, you're thinking, are we nuts? Did we ever really think we were going to be any good? Even if you put in those players, I can already hear the excuses this week. Oh, these players were out. Man, there was no effort. They were walking the ball out. This could be, did we say last week's performance was probably the worst we've seen? Wow.
We've had 5 worst ever performances. 5 of them now.
We just come up with the next one. It's like Carlton goes, what? You reckon that's bad? I'm going to show you something this week. I'm going to make it worse now. Now I'm worried about next week. So listen, man, I think me like laughing a little bit and smiling, it's kind of just, I'm going to try to protect myself here from, because like when, don't anyone get offended, but like fat people, they make jokes about themselves. They always say, oh, just to protect themselves. I do that now with Carlton. Like people come up to me and they go, who do you follow? And I go, I follow that shit side, Carlton, aren't they shit, just to protect myself now. You know what I mean? And then they feel sorry for me and they go, oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. You'll be all right. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd quickly get on and just join in the therapy a little bit. And I'm going to go now and do what Carlton don't do and spend the next 5 hours preparing for the show. Yep. Wish they would spend 5 hours preparing for the game.
I know. I wish they would spend just a night. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and look, Murph, look, he was a good player. Unfortunately, he didn't finish off. And I hope this doesn't like tarnish the reputation. I think after time, we'll kind of remember. At the moment, I reckon his legacy's been a little bit tarnished, but I hope not. I hope people remember what he did and what kind of player he was, So
I think they will.
Yeah,
I think they will. Good on you, Rocco. Can't wait for Tuesday night, mate.
Yeah, we're already getting ready, man. We're already getting ready. All right, big night. Thanks, guys.
See you, mate. Mitch.
Hey, Tez, mate. How you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, average.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Yeah. I was actually there tonight.
You were?
Yep. And what an absolute shit show. Pound the membership, pound to go, and they dish up that. I was actually kind of excited, actually, heading to the game. Murph's obviously last game, 300th, probably the last time I'll see Eddie and Levi. Kemp's first game, Corey's first game, and then we dish up that.
It's disappointing. It's sad. It's very sad. And we've been dishing up these performances all year. Not this bad, but we've been dishing up these I can't believe they did that performances all year. And they've been dishing them up our whole lives for those who were born in the 90s, 2000s. So
yeah. How they expect to get a match payment after the game, like hand it back, chug it in a kitty and throw it at Clarko. I don't know. But
yeah. Well said, mate. Well projected. I'm sorry you had to go watch that, but stick fat and at least we've got each other, as we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's all we got, isn't it? So
100%. Well done, mate. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Des.
See you, mate. Jack De Gabriele from Malta.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
No, there was no effort today. At least we saw Murphy play good today, but the others didn't show up for him.
They didn't. A few of the kids, but that's it.
Yeah. No, the leaders didn't show up. I think Wietering only played good from the leaders, but at Kerno, Betts, McGovern, all didn't show nothing.
No, it's true. It's sad. It's crazy that we're talking about it like this. I mean, I think most people didn't expect to win today. I think, but you never ever excuse whatever that was. You can't have that. That's a soul that destroys the fans. It destroys the soul. You know.
Yeah. And at least for Murphy, for staying loyal with the club, because he could have gone to another club and playing for a Premiership in finals, but he stayed.
Yeah,
he was our captain, and he led our team well, but he didn't have support in his career.
Yeah,
no support.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be talking to you like this 2 weeks in a row. What time is it in Malta?
12:50 in the afternoon.
Okay, so you have a whole day ahead. Again, I get to go to sleep. You have to live through another day.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. We need massive. We need massive changes now. I think Teague is out for sure. We need a coach. We need a coach like Clarko or Lyon. But even the players, I think there will be massive changes in the players as well. For example, Plowman, Nunes, I don't see them playing under those coaches. I can't see them.
Yeah, I think we need some standards. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well said, Jack. How old are you?
17.
I saw that recently. I can't believe it. I thought you were a little older. Young 17-year-old from Malta. It's a pleasure having you on, my friend.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thanks, mate. See you.
See you, mate. Speaking of Blues abroad, Adam from Arizona.
Hey, Terry.
What's up, brother?
That is just leaves a sour taste in your mouth, doesn't it?
It's as piss poor as it gets, mate. And unfortunately, those kind of losses are very common. Not very common, but they're common for what I've experienced in my lifetime as a kid, growing up into an adult. I've seen so many of them in my lifetime. And I actually, after we started the rebuild in 2015 and brought in Wietering and went on from there, the last time we had one like that was 2018, maybe early 2019. And I just thought after 2020, that was it. We don't see them anymore. It might be 10 goals. It might be 9 goals, but not 100 points, not 95 points.
When's it going to end, Robbie?
When is it going to end, Robbie?
Oh, man.
What did you see, mate? What did you notice out there?
Just a lack of effort. Like, nobody expected to win that. Let's just be honest. Especially with the outs that we had going into that game. I saw it coming. Like, I could see a game like this coming, but for it to actually come into fruition in Mark Murphy's 300th game, right? That's a piss take, man. Come on. Like, how is that acceptable? How is that acceptable at a club of this stature for a guy who's from what I've been told by you guys and the guys who've actually had the chance to watch him play in his prime, was one of our better players. That's it? That's it. That's a joke.
It is a joke, mate. It is a joke. You're right. It's funny because it's almost not acceptable for the fans, but it is for those at the club. They say that it's unacceptable, and they say that they're reviewing it really hard, and they all talk so much shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, the reality is that they're full of shit.
Yeah, they're full of shit. Full of shit.
As long as the Guernseys sell, as long as the hat sells, the scarf sell, why the fuck would they care?
Yeah.
Just, what is it, 4 more quarters now? 4 more? Thank God.
What was that? Four more what?
4 more quarters. 4 more quarters of football left in this season.
4 more quarters of football, 4 a.m. in Arizona. Is that right?
Yep.
You stayed up till 4 a.m. watching that. Oh, my God. Oh, you're sick. You're psychotic. I love it.
Hey, I'm a I swear on my life, I am a sports masochist. All my sports teams, they hurt me, and I stay up to watch them. It's pain, but it's like I take it like this is who I am. It's all in the hope that one day I can see them win something.
There's a saying: I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all.
Right. Like, what's the point of being, a Man City fan if they win the fucking league every year? Like, where's the enjoyment in that? It's like, why would I support Richmond? Why would I support these, good teams if they're not going to hurt me a little bit,
No, I feel you. I feel you, brother. I appreciate you coming on every week and having your say and getting amongst it. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.
Of course.
See you, bro. Kira!
Hey, Tez.
What are you wearing that logo for?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I have no words. Like, I'm heartbroken today. Heartbroken. Like, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. And I don't think we stand for anything. Like, nothing. Like, they don't care. And when I say they, I don't mean all of them. As been mentioned, Ed Kerner was crying. Sard was crying. But they don't care, like, at all. They don't care about the number on their back, let alone the monogram on their front. They don't care that Eddie Betts was crying on AFL 360 because he's sick of fighting for racism. They don't care that Doherty's just been diagnosed with cancer again. They don't care that Murph's retiring. They don't care that we had 2 debutantes. They don't care. And, like, we're falling for everything because they don't stand for a single thing. Like, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that.
Facts. It's Carl's in the comments here. Emotionless. They are emotionless. They don't care for anywhere near long enough. They don't care anywhere near long enough. They're not willing to pay the price that you must pay to play professionally and win. The price of winning, they're just not willing to pay it. But we're just told, stick fat, it's going to turn around. The light bulb moment will come. Yeah, okay.
And that's the thing. We'll all stick around. We're all everyone that's on this fan cams is going to be a supporter again next year because we'd never walk away because we care. We care. We care that Eddie Betts is hurting. We care that Murph's retiring. We were happy that we had 2 debutantes. We care, but they don't. And I don't know when it's going to turn, but it needs to happen now because they're losing a generation of supporters that they won't get back.
Yeah, they won't. Kids won't wait.
No.
No, it's true. It's true. Are you who do you I don't know what to say.
There's nothing to say.
I don't even know what to say. What do we do next week? Who knows? I don't even know if there's any more kids to play.
Forfeit. We forfeit next week because I'm not prepared to see what could happen next week. Like, GWS, I don't care how many players we had out. How undermanned were GWS was it last week? And they came out and won. Like, there has to be something within that makes you fight no matter how hard it is or how mentally tough it is. You've got to find something that makes you click. And like next week could be an absolute disaster. I'm actually scared.
I'm petrified. I have flashbacks to 2018 when we had GWS had 4 players injured on the bench and 1 more injured on the 2 more. They had 16 players on the field, and they were just running around us like witches' hats. I have serious PTSD about that. That still hurts. So
yeah.
And
it's going to be another milestone. Bet's 350th, so we all know how we perform in milestones.
Yeah, we don't do them very well at all.
No.
Yeah. No.
But Terry cares. You care. So
We all
thank you.
care.
Thank you for you front up every week, unlike some of the players. So thank you.
Well, we the fans, we front up every week. We front up to do our part. The fans' role is to support. We front up and we do that. And we'll just front up again next week. And if they shit the bed again, we'll be here again and do it all over again. So it is what it is, Kira. Thanks so much for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Terry.
There you are. Sarah.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Numb?
Yeah.
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 I think it's sad when I'm watching Pom and Shannon and a 15-year-old goes on and says, I've been a fan for 11 years and I'm scared to keep supporting them.
That's real talk. Yeah.
I've been a member for my whole life and I'm about to turn 19, and Murphy's played my entire life. Simpson played my entire life. Cruiser played my entire life. And I couldn't say goodbye to any of them, and they played shit in all their last games. And I cried watching Shannon cry. Like, she's the reason why I cried tonight. And I know that on Brownlow night, when they have a big thing of who the retirements are, that's when I'll really cry, because that's when it becomes real. But I know that all these players have their Mad Monday outfits ready from 4 weeks ago when we played North Melbourne, yet they still don't care that we have another game to go. But they've got all this fun stuff ready, even though we're in lockdown. I kind of hope that we're in lockdown for another month or so for their sake, so they can't do anything. So they have to sit in their houses and think, reflect, like we have. We've sat in our houses and had to think for a week about, do we watch the game? Do we not? Is it going to be a disaster? Is it not? Do we have hope? Do we not?
And then you sit there and then you watch them start the way they did today and you think, oh, okay, this is good. Look at the young kids, energy. They're bringing us something. And then you believe that it's not going to be as bad as what it was today. And then it becomes as bad as what it was today.
Tom said at quarter time, what are your comments? And I said, I should take a screenshot now and post it.
Yeah.
Because I knew it wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be that bad, but I knew it wasn't going to last.
We've gone back. We've gone back to hoping we can get a good quarter in. That's what we've gone back to.
I thought we played one bad quarter. It's now we only play one good quarter.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. I can't sit through 3 bad quarters.
Yeah.
Because I'm shaking sitting there. I can't go back to the MCG round 1 next year and have all these Richmond supporters sitting next to me laughing in my face like I had round 1 this year. I nearly punched someone because they were making jokes about Cripps and all these players. And I was like, not today, love. Like, my friend who, bit biased, she's my best friend, goes to Essendon, does really like Carlton, kind of in the midst of converting her, but don't know how that's going to go. But she was ready to punch this dude too. Like, she was getting into it. I've never gotten violent at a game, but I was so close to saying something because I care. We all care. All these fans care. What does the club want from us? What more do they want? We turn up every week when we can. We fly into state when we can. The cheer squad does it as often as they can. And when the cheer squad is at the point where they have nothing to say, that's an issue.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't remember who said it before. Was it Jimmy? Maybe. Anyway, they made the point about he's noticed that Nick does the positives every week. It's true. Like if there's anyone that's able to galvanize the group, it's the cheer squad, and you just watch it. It's just dwindling away. The flame.
My favorite part of a game, even if it's a loss, was Nick's positives. And it's this week it was I made dinner, or last week it was the game ended. Like that's it. Like that's all we had as a positive. That's all I could have seen as a positive.
Yeah.
I don't know what to look forward to for next week.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Kind of wish Kobe Green wasn't playing because I hate him. Kind of wish all these other players got injured. But they played with 16 one game. I don't need that again.
I remember. I mean, look, the season's over for a team like Hawthorn as well, but you look at the way they play because winning matters, not, going into off-season and getting anyway, I don't know. I think we'll talk about that on Monday, the mentality.
Isn't sport supposed to be you train for your spot? So no spot is guaranteed until the team's picked. But it feels like some players are guaranteed every week. Now, I know you have 2 captains and they're supposed to play, but aren't they supposed to set the standard of where everyone else is?
Yeah.
Everyone else is behind them?
The trouble is the 2 captains only know losing. They don't know any better.
And I get that, but it's like people like Walsh that I'm scared are going to go, I can't play in a losing team. People like Corey Durden today, which amazing game by him, but I don't see people like him wanting to play in a team where Fisher was laughing at the end of the game after a 95-point loss, or players that have just lost their majority of their career like Murphy, who were excited to basically retire. Like you don't want to be excited to retire. You want it to be something you can just do for as long as you can because you enjoy it, not because it's just something you're relieved of. I don't want the young kids to not be pushing into the team because other players just seem to be getting spots.
True. Yeah. What does Dad think?
He's already written Teague off. I had hope for Teague about, 5 weeks ago? I was like, yeah, I was on the Teague train. And I think my stop is coming up. Like, when you bought a ticket, like a Mikey train, and you're about to get off at Richmond. Yeah, my stop is about to come and I'm about to get off the train. I know if we have a really bad loss next week, it's going to be I've hopped off in the first 5 minutes.
You're not off yet?
I feel like I can't. He's still there. So out of respect for me, I can't do it. Because, I was very much out of a lot of the other coaches prior to them leaving, but they left in the middle of the season. If you're going to stick out with a coach for a whole year, you've got to believe that they've kind of got some sort of intentions, but it can't always be we over put in effort like last week. You can't over put in effort. If you put in too much effort, you're going to win, right?
Yeah.
Like this loss was as bad as my soccer loss when we lost 20-0.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. No offense.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Okay. And I was playing injured. So majority of my team was injured and we still played. This is how bad it is.
I'm fearful to watch his presser, but at some point I'll put myself through it and
I don't listen to them anymore because it just seems like a big fat lie.
Yeah.
Well, you can't tell the truth. What's it going to be? They didn't turn up. Oh, well, we know that. It's my fault. Well, he's not going to say it's his fault.
No, that would be accountability. We don't do that at the Carlton Football Club. That's not the Carlton way.
So he's got to lie. There's some sort of place where there's got to be lying involved to keep everyone hopeful.
Yeah.
Which is where I don't know it. Like I'm like pressing the button to get off the train before the train stopped. That's kind of where I'm at. Clicky button or pulling the doors open. That's where I'm at. But I don't know who I'd want as a coach because I'm not really looking at other coaches yet because at this very point in time, it's just like start running laps until you're vomiting, because I don't think a lot of them are fit. I feel like they need to earn their spots before they can even play. Like, as someone said before, the VFL team could have played better. And where a lot of the AFL players in the VFL team can't get in because they're not fit or aren't good enough. So if those players could have played better, that's saying something for our performance today.
100%. 100%. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing. It was
That's okay.
very good to chat to you again, and hopefully it's not as bad next week.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Have a lovely night.
See you, Sarah.
See you.
Daniel, thanks for all your work. Terry and Blue Bro, I've supported for 25 years. This might be the worst I felt. Your energy helped so much. Bless you. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Where we got? Christopher.
How we going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Hopefully I'm not lagging too much. I'm in Durham at my beautiful girlfriend's house. So if I'm lagging, just let me know. I had a nice night with my girlfriend, which is very lovely. I watched the first half. It was fantastic. And then the second half, Marcelo's great quote, the apple crumble came. Because once it starts getting hard, they give up. It's Terry. This is what I'll say, right? This is the problem with Carlton, right? Carlton is run like any other business, yeah. It's a for-profit business or non-profit, whatever. It's a business, right? Now, anything that is produced by a business that is not good enough quality, do you blame the employees or the employers? Now, and you would say the employers, right? Say if you have bad quality food, right, you don't blame the cashier, you blame the manager or the area manager, right? So everything that is going wrong with this club is directly responsible by the board, right? So everything that is happening in this club is the board's problem, because if they don't have the right people in and they can't identify that, why can't they identify it? That's their job. They can't hire the right people. Like they didn't hire Teague, and that's been a failure. And so everything that is set by the board filters through the whole business, which is Carlton. And it's so infuriating. People go, oh, it's Teague's fault. It's the players' fault. It's Brad Lloyd's fault. No, these people are hired by the board. The board set the standards, Terry. They're the ones in charge. That you can say Cripps isn't a good leader. Where's he getting his standards from?
Well, the thing is, the players, for me, my argument, now I could be completely wrong, but my take and my viewpoint is the players are the only window that you and me and the fans who don't work in the club, that's the only window we get to see about the environment in which they are working day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. That whatever's going on, whatever culture there is, I see it on the field. It reveals itself in every little bit of body language. And ultimately, decision makers have to be held accountable 100%.
Yeah.
If anything's going to put a smile on our face, it'll be the pop.
This is my King Charles Cavalier biscuit. Just a little hello, maybe cheer up some people in the chat. It'd be the beautiful King Charles Cavalier. Anyway, back to the serious question. Look, Terry, I think you are set standards from the top. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, let him go. All right. So basically, it's annoying. Like people say, this is David Teague's fault or anything, and to a part it is. But we need to blame the board here. The board set the standards from the start, and it filters through everything, from the people they hire to the standards that they give them, at the extent at what they accept. If they accept mediocre performances from their staff, they're going to get mediocre results. It's not rocket science. It's just what happens. And they're not good enough. The board is just not good enough. They're just terrible at running this football club. And people that don't think they're doing a good job, I think, are out of their mind.
Yeah.
They would have been. They're screwing us over. They
They
are.
bring all the scrutiny and all, like I said before, all this external noise, this EGM, all this stuff. It's completely, they've brought it on themselves. They've got no
Yep.
one else to blame but themselves. It's a good point.
Yep. I've got a new name for the Carlton Football Club, mate. I thought of it through the week because it's not a football club anymore because the football doesn't matter. It's called the Carlton Media Corporation, CMC. Because it's not about the football. Football doesn't matter. Who cares about winning? Who cares about Mark Murphy finishing off his career with a great win or a great performance? That doesn't matter. As long as we sell all our other crap and the media makes us look good because we played Murph in the midfield, that doesn't matter. As long as we look good and Caroline Wilson writes a good piece on us, that's all that matters, mate. Who cares about the football?
It's true. It's well said, mate.
That's it. Thanks, mate. Have a good night, mate.
No worries, mate. You have a good one. Jad.
G'day, mate.
How's
What's going on? What do you
6
say,
years
Terry?
into the rebuild, baby. Losing by 95 points, baby. 6 years in. Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we signed up for, baby. Say it again.
The 5-year plan. Oh, it's all going to be okay. The 5
One more time.
Plan. Bullshit. Bullshit. Fuck your 5-year plan. Bullshit.
Oh, fuck it all. Who wrote that
5-year
fucking
plan.
document?
Can you believe that? The 5-year fucking plan. The 5
I want to know who wrote that fucking document, Tez. I want to know who wrote that shit. Were they fucking high? Were they drunk?
5-year fucking plan. Fuck off.
Oh, wow. What do you say, mate? What do you say?
You bring it out of me. I'm so composed, and you come on. I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Blaming me, mate. So I bring it out. You know what it is, mate? We're sick. We're sick in the fucking head. Because you know what I'm looking forward to? As bad as it is, I can't wait till they sack him. And it's not personal against him. It's just me. It's something wrong with me. I want to see it. Like, I'm baying for blood. I'm sick, man. There's something fucking wrong. But I will say, I think, can we just, it's up to everyone how they want to express themselves, but I think we should just try and stop with the self-loathing, man. Like, let's just get ruthless on the club from now on. Like, otherwise we're going to become Essendon supporters.
But it's tough because
it is, yes.
Me and a lot of people, we hope for better days. So when we see a little tinker of something, it's like, that's the turning point. You know, when we see the St Kilda game, it was all right, yes, it was paper over the cracks, but because we want it so badly, whenever a little bit of it shows, it's like, there it is, the turning point. And then it's just this constant cycle. It's like evil. It's evil.
It's evil. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I think if we just get more ruthless on him, maybe things will change. But I just want to say, like, should we just sack him tonight? Like, this slow death, who's it serving? Like, it's killing us. We, as a supporter base, we want to see action being taken. I'm sure Teague's hating life. Imagine him right now. Like, it's just killing everyone, mate. It's just Absard crying. Apparently, Ed Kerno shattered. Like, it's unbelievable that we're here again. I didn't think we'd see another sacking after Teague. It's come around again, mate. What do you say? You just
we got it wrong.
It's knows what this.
We got it wrong again. Like, again.
Look, into that point, I'm a huge football, like, soccer fan. So managers come and go. So I don't think anyone should be afraid to sack him. Like, get used to it. I would rather sack 1,000 coaches now if it means finding the right person, if it means finding the right mix of people. And this whole thing, like, I heard you and Rocco before say that it might be a 2-3 year. And I respectfully disagree, because I believe that it only takes 1 or 2 really good people put in there to change things. And of course, it's a cultural thing that needs to happen. But I believe it takes. That's all. That's what it will take. And I'm not saying we're going to win the grand final next year if it happens, but anything other than this shit. The football we're playing right now is no man's land. Like it's nothing, Terry. It's not bottomed out. It's not finals. It's nothing. It's nowhere. This is the worst spot to be. At least when you're rebuilding, you have things to hold on to. But this is. I guess the positive thing is I believe it can change quickly if you get the right people in there, because it's not just going to be Teague, it's going to be a sweeping change. It's going to be a whole new group of people in there with different ideas.
Freshly ready.
Yeah. Yeah. And you talk about culture. What does that say when you let Murph down like that?
They don't care.
Fucking Wiedering saying, we're talking his bullshit with Jared.
Yeah. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Yeah, I haven't got much for you today, man, but whatever.
No, that's fine. It's good to come in, say hello, and then we'll there's literally the thing is still full, so I'm gonna speed it up now.
Go ahead, man.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
See you, bro.
Ciao. All right, I've got a full waiting room. I'm going to just speed through everyone as we go through now, guys, because we're getting to that 2 hour point and my brain's starting to sizzle. Nathan, hey, mate.
Mate, you must have had a really tough day. You got Arsenal in the morning and then now on to them. They don't really...
Yeah,
look,
I woke up, saw the score, and I was like, today's going to be a cunt of a day.
I saw that and I was like, Terry's going to have to do it all again in like 5 hours. Like it's actually a joke at this point. On a positive, it was good with the kids. I like that. I think that's the only way you're going to actually move forward, because they do the same thing every week. They play the same guys every week. I mean, Peake's plan's obviously not working. So I love seeing these kids in, because at least they get some experience. They actually get to play. Not that they're getting played extremely well, but still better than keeping them in the reserves every week. And the reserves aren't doing too good either when they are playing. So good initiative for them to be brought in.
Yeah, I think also when they're playing these scratch matches with like other teams and like 3 teams in one, I think you're right.
Yeah, no, it was very good. They're good, talented players. Durden, I love his speed, pressure. He was very good to watch. Kemp, I thought, struggled a little bit. He seemed a bit nervous, which of course first game, but I just want to, hopefully they get played next week. I hope they don't get brought out straight away, or else it's a cycle of trash where they lose hope. So hoping for the best, but not surprised about today at all. It was
no, not at all, brother. I appreciate you coming on. Good to see you moving on to YouTube finally. Good to see you moving up and about. So
finally.
Rap on YouTube.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, all the best, mate. We'll be in touch.
Easy. Cheers, Tez.
See you, mate. Costa. I can't hear you, bro.
Sorry about that. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad after listening to all that. Made me feel a bit better. Just make sure that we're all on the same page as Carlton supporters, that this is just fucked at this point, eh?
Yeah, at least we've got, however, what is it? It was 800 people feeling the same way.
Yeah, it's a bit of therapy for us, I guess, but it's full circle back to this point last year. Probably even worse, really. Like, we've regressed. We really have. Like, I remember talking after the GWS game, we were like, where are we? Are we getting better? Are we getting worse? Like, what's happening? And we've gotten worse. I don't think at this point last year we lose to Port by 100 points. And like, where are we going? What's going on?
I don't think we had a bad loss like that last year. I mean, I get it. It was shorter games, but the 95 point, like conceding 19 straight, that's us in 2018. That's rebuild territory. That's,
Yeah, every positive aspect we've gotten from this year was, we're not losing by much, and then this week straight away negates that one positive that we had out of this season. So there's no positive out of this season whatsoever. We end this season like we're begging for this season to end. Who would have thought at the start of the year? I mean, even 3 weeks ago, we were like, we're a chance for finals. Like, it's laughable, but like 3 weeks ago, we were like, oh, we could make finals if we beat North and all these teams, and now we're getting to the last round, and we're like, hurry up and finish. We don't want to see anything anymore. And the lack of accountability coming out of the club, that's the main topic I want to come out with. Like, after last week, I was, you know, you want your coach to come out and say that just was piss poor effort. You know, we've got to be better. But he comes out and says we tried too hard. Like, are you kidding me? Is that the messaging we're bringing out to the fans, that we lose to 16th, 17th on the ladder, one of the worst lists in the AFL, and we tried too hard, and that's why we lost? Where's the accountability there from the main spokesperson of the club after the game, where we dish up one of the worst performances of the season? There's no accountability, and every sense of accountability that we do get is, oh, we've hit home truths. We know this week we'll come out stronger. How many times have we had home truths this season? How many times do the players need to hear the same thing before they realise that we're just not putting in enough effort? And if our coach is saying that we're putting in too much effort during losses like that, then where do we go from there? What direction are we taking? If that's the pinnacle of our effort and it's a loss, then where do we go? You've pretty much negated any hope we have in this club. If that's what you're saying, that's the message. So in a time where we're in such a crisis, we need transparency from the club, and that's not what we're getting. We're getting more and more questions over and over and over again. So it's just time for things to change. Everything needs to change.
You know what else is crazy this week is, like, we say it every week. It's actually like a running joke. Oh, injury report's going to come out. Then we know there's going to be like another injury after that we never were told about. It was so carefully orchestrated this week.
Yeah.
Injury report, no Jack Silvani, no Liam Jones, no Cripps. Then we hear, like, Harry obviously was sore. We knew he'd probably miss. No worries. Jones out for the season. Jack Silvani hip replaced. Jack Martin, a mysterious hamstring.
Williams re-aggravated.
Williams re-aggravated hamstring. And then your Cripps are laid out. Like, what are they doing?
I remember that. Yeah, remember that week where they were like, Plowman's out, and then the day before he's like, yeah, he's back in. Like, there's no transparency from this club in messaging whatsoever. All the messages we get are all different. The players are saying different things. The coach is saying different things. That in a time where we're in a crisis, where we need that, where we need as fans a little bit of reassurance that our club's moving in the right direction to fix our problems, we're getting nothing. We're getting this review that we're not going to get the disclosure from. Like, it's quite evident that this club just doesn't give a shit about the fans, and that's just not good enough at all. And during this crisis, they come out with that board bullshit about the resolution, and only once they get feedback that's not good enough, that they push it back. What are they doing? What are they doing? Honestly, this club, it's just like, what's going to change? What's going to change? It's just so disheartening. Like, even during that 2018, 2019 season, we're like, oh, you know, we've got hope for the future. It's almost like this is a sense of hopelessness at this point. Anyway, I won't keep you up too long. I know you've got a room full.
No, it's all appreciate it, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure, bro. Take it easy.
Very much. Lucas.
How you going, man?
Good, mate. You're very. Hang on. You're very, very choppy. Hang on.
Is that all good?
You there?
Yeah,
that's a bit better.
Yeah, man.
No.
Don't really know where to start.
Yeah, you're not. It's just try and maybe reset your Wi-Fi or something, bro. Webby, Dick Webb.
Hello, Terry.
Back again, eh? Back for more.
Here we are. What do you say, mate? What do you say? Like, how dare they send off Mark Murphy like that? How dare they? Like that. We started so well, and they're up and about. Honey's up and about. Durden's tackling, and Kennedy. Okay. A shout out to Matt Kennedy. A bit of positivity first up. He battled all day. He finished with 28. He was probably our best, right? So, shout out to you, sir. Well done. But it's a common trend here, Terry. Pressure comes from the opposition, and we fold. We just fold, and like, You could probably see that coming halfway through the second quarter. They kicked a couple in a row, and you could see the boys drop their heads. The pressure died off a bit, and yeah, it's a 95-point loss at the end of the day, and 19 goals in a row. That's Gold Coast like.
Yeah.
You know, and until someone takes accountability, this is going to keep happening, and it's going to keep happening. And it's now on us, the supporters, to hold the club to account. Like, serious, mate. Like, 82,000 members strong. We have to hold this great club to account, because it's just not good enough, mate. It's just not good enough.
How many times can we say it?
What?
We are so out of control of the situation. We just keep coming back for more.
I know for a fact that from this board meeting, Teague has been sacked. So
Okay.
it's done. So yeah, we are now searching for a new coach, whether that's Lyon or Clarkson or whoever. But let's not kid ourselves. Like it is going to take more than one coach to turn this club around. This is a culture issue. This is culture, Terry.
Yeah.
And until that changes, and until this club starts taking development serious, we are forever going to be mediocre. I'm sorry to you and the fans listening, but it's reality. We have the list. We have the list. I won't have anyone tell me we don't. But until we start taking development seriously, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere, Tez.
Yeah, it's true, mate. I know. There's a little dark piece of me that starts to think, am I really going to sit through a 50-year premiership drought like the Swans had before they won, or whatever, it was more than 50 or whatever? Like, I've started to really think about that. Like, is this what this is? Is this the beginning of that? You know?
Like we are the same age, and I tell you, this club is lucky that we are still fucking here. I tell you, they have given us nothing but heartache. Like wooden spoons, 100-point losses, false dawns. Nothing changes here, Tez. Nothing changes.
That's right, mate. That's right. What have you got on for tonight, mate? How are you going to get your mind off the game?
Sleep, mate. I think just sleep. And we're in lockdown as well. That's another thing here in Melbourne. We're in lockdown.
Yeah.
So, what do you say, mate?
Yeah, I know. But hopefully we're not talking like this again next week. Sounds like Cripps might be back next week, and hope to see you again next week, mate.
We're just a rebel, mate. I'm sorry.
We are.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you,
Webby.
mate.
See you, mate. B.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I've been watching for a while and I've been meaning to come on. Like, I think I found this channel at the start of the year when we lost to Collingwood. And I've been really enjoying watching these fan cams. I decided to come on for the first time. I finally worked up the courage.
Oh, I love it. No, I really love that. I love seeing new faces, and nothing to be nervous about. What a way! First of all, what a way to start watching the channel, because that was a night.
Oh my God, man. I was like, oh, fan cams, what's this? And I was there watching and I was like, Jesus Christ.
What did you see today, B? What was that?
Oh, not much, honestly. I tend to get pretty anxious when I watch games, so I like to distract myself. And I was just there looking up and looking down, looking up, and we kicked a couple goals, and I was like, oh, maybe. But after half time, we just fell off.
Yeah, and yet we fell off so abruptly. Like, it was all going okay. It really was. It was going fine. And then it just like, you know the score worm? Like, it was like
the score worm is hilarious to look at. It. It's just I've been seeing a lot of people in the chat saying like the free kick count didn't help us either. And like it was, I noticed that they got momentum from a couple free kicks.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just me. It was a couple weird free kicks and just like I find that if we lose momentum, we really struggle to get it back, which is, disheartening. I've been a fan all my life, and I saw Rocco say earlier it's been 20 years of just this, and I'm 20. So it's just been the recurring theme of my life, really. Happy to see some good new boys good young boys coming in, but really sad for me to see Murph go like that and looking like it might be Eddie's last game last week, maybe. I'm hearing whispers.
Yeah. It is really
and just the end of that era.
I was about to say it. It's a real end of an era, and unfortunately, Murph and Eddie were supposed to be the era after the bad era, salary cap era. But now we've gone salary cap era, Murphy / Eddie Betts / Gibbs, Cruiser, Casbolt, Kerno era. And then are we doing this again? Is it going to be the Crips losing era? It's just,
and then putting it on Walsh, and then God,
it's crazy.
It's not a good time.
It's not. But we're a really interesting bunch of supporters because we still show up and we always will. And I think there's like a FOMO of no, we can't give up, because if we give up and they start becoming good, like we're going to be there. Like you don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's been my mum and my grandfather going to games since before I was born. Then I just started going with them, and it's just always been a family thing for me. And I think that's the thing for especially all of Carlton supporters. It's family,
Yeah.
And I haven't had the chance to go to any games this year or last year, obviously, and I'm itching to get back to one, and I don't know why after today. But yeah, it's a broken record, really.
Yep. It's the same conversations, but at least we get to, I don't know, connect with people, I guess.
Yeah. I have been watching this channel for a little while, and it's funny because I see that Heath Buck is involved with the video stuff, and he was my Year 7 English teacher. So,
no way.
Yeah. He was my homeroom and English teacher.
Interesting. Was he a good teacher?
Don't put pressure on me like that.
You don't need to answer that.
No, I was 13. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But,
no, fair enough. Fair enough. But no, listen, thanks for coming on, and sorry we have to go through this again, but hopefully we can just get through this year and hopefully turn things around.
Yeah. Have a good night, Tez, and everyone else in the chat.
See ya. Lucas, let's try your Wi-Fi again, mate.
Is that good?
I can hear you. You're a little bit laggy, but let's see how we go.
All right, man. I was at the game today. Not really lucky anymore. And yeah, just disappointing. I was sitting with the Carlton fans, and we got our hopes up early, and that really all came crashing down. And I heard the Carlton fan next to me was like, when Port started kicking away in that late in the second quarter, he said, "How stupid are we for believing like we can do something today?" It's just I'm 15. I'm a blue bagger from Adelaide. I've seen us lose. I've seen us play at Adelaide Oval, lose by 100 points, and I've seen 90-point loss today. It's sad. I was there for the last game at Amy for Murphy. You know, the game he announced himself really for that 1-point win, and then to see that today, him going off was just a bit sad. A bit sad, really.
It was. I before I went to Sydney this year for the GWS game, the only interstate game I'd ever been to was 2014. We lost by 96 points, the first game at Adelaide Oval before the finals. So I remember we don't have a very good record over there at all. We get spanked there.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
It's tough, mate. I'm sorry you had to go and sit through that, and that would have been really eerie. I mean, what do you do? I mean, I still would have wanted to be there. I'm shocked that I didn't go to Mark Murphy's last game. Like, that's so crazy to me, you know?
Where are the Northern Blues?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'm going to get going. I've got to move on.
Yeah, man. See you, Terry.
All right. See you, bro. All right. What we got? Andrew.
Terry.
Hey, mate.
Mate, I don't know. Look, I was hopeful. We're always hopeful, aren't we? I mean, we have beaten Port before.
Yeah.
And we beat them convincingly. So there's hope. So, you know, I was reserved. I thought, okay, we'll get him by a goal. We'll beat him by a goal. You know, being the eternal optimist that I am. But, geez, mate, that's a bit of a reality check, I tell you. Jeez.
Yeah.
There was no structure. I mean, the first quarter, yeah, they get your hopes up. And I think this is the way I think they like to play their game plan. They go, let's go hard. Let's try and get as far as we can so we don't have to have the pressure of trying to, you know, buy a game back because we're too far behind, right? So they try and get everything out in the first quarter. And then for some reason, they just take the foot off the pedal. I've seen it time and time again, and it just, I don't know. It does my head in.
I mean, there's been bad losses this year, and I almost laugh now at how bad I thought the Collingwood loss was in round 2.
Yeah,
I
true.
really do. And then there's the West Coast one, the GWS one.
Sydney.
The Sydney one. Oh my god, the Sydney one. Then there was North. It was like, it can't get worse than North.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
you see, sorry.
Yeah.
You see, like you said before, you see Hawthorn, you see GWS. Yeah, they're down, and they just dig deep, and they pull something from somewhere, you know, and they make it work for them. And it's something that I don't know. There seems to be a disconnect between the coach and the team. I was looking at the game today, and I'm thinking, you know, players are just running around with aimlessly, and there's just surely that Teague did not tell them to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't know. There is a definite disconnect, and whether it was saying before that guy you were talking about that Teague is actually gone, that could be part of it today. I don't know, but I mean, I've seen it before. You know. It can't be the fact that the boys are not doing what Teague is asking them to do. It's surely not. And if that's the case, then he's telling them the wrong thing.
Yep.
I don't know. There was to me there was enough depth in the side today for us to get a win, even though we didn't have a full complement of players. You know, we had the Kernaz in there. You know, we had Wiedering. We had who else? I've gone blank. But anyway, we had enough senior players in there to direct the nature of the game, and it just did not happen.
Yeah.
And the fact that they couldn't dig deep enough for Murphy was really shitting me. I'm probably not going to sleep tonight, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm fearful to close this up log on the phone and look at the photos and see the photo of him on their shoulder. Honestly, I don't want to deal with it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either, mate. I'm reluctant to look at it, to be honest.
I refuse to look at him like that. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, mate, I'll let you roll because I know you're busy, and I know it's what is it over there? 9:45.
9:45, yeah. All good, mate. Thanks for joining.
Hey, have a good one. Go Blues.
See you, mate. Chris Beach.
As you can tell by my expression, you can tell how happy I am with today's result. That was pathetic. We go to Adelaide, Murphy's 300th, and you dish up that. 95 points, despite being 23 points up at some point in the second quarter. That's pathetic. No Mackay, no Cripps late, no Silvani, and no other players as well, and you dish up that. I don't think I've been this angry since we lost to Adelaide in 2020, and I was still feeling that loss for a little while.
I'm still angry at that.
And I showed you that photo of that Simmer getting carried off that game from you know what I mean, the one after Adelaide.
Yes.
Yeah, I showed you that one. I was still pretty pissed off with that one too. Yeah.
It's I usually ask what do we do next week? What now? But I am petrified of it. But he can't coach next week.
There's no way.
He can't.
There's no way.
No, he can't. He doesn't. No.
There's absolutely no way he can coach next week. Don't get me wrong. I've been a supporter of his for a very long time. So much so that I've got a badge here you're telling other people that I'm on the T train. This badge will have to come off after tonight.
I think it's time to take that one off.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you want to see happen over the off season? I mean, are you in the camp where you want to see players brought in, top players, or what do you think? Is this a player thing? Do you have certain coaches you want to have at the club, assistants or head coaches? What do you want to see?
It's a good question, Terry, because I don't know what they can do to try and fix this situation. They're saying we're going after Clarkson. Yeah, fine. But here's what worries me, right? We bring him in. Are we going to see immediate results? Because I don't think we are.
Yeah.
We might get the list stripped back, and then we're back to square one, and then we're going after his head. So that's what worries me a little bit, because if we do that, then there's that fear of going back to square one, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I fear that we're going to have to get used to the fact that that's what's happening. The only difference this time is square one, we're starting with a genuine spine, as opposed to square one, we drafted the spine with Wiedering and Mackay and whatnot. That's the only thing I'm thinking of right now. I really do get I don't want to label it a rebuild, because rebuild is what the term that the club gave us so we could shut up for 5 years and not hold them accountable. But I do feel like there needs to be a little bit of a rejigging of things and getting things back on course.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a rejigging. To what extent? I guess we're going to have to find out, because it's going to mean more than one piece being moved.
Yeah. It's true, mate. Thanks for waiting. Sorry that you had to wait so long, but I appreciate your patience.
Don't worry about it, Terry. Don't worry about it. I just tried to get in as soon as I could. That's all it was.
Hopefully speak to you next week.
Done, mate. Thanks very much.
See you, mate. Zach.
Hello.
What's up, man?
In the wise words of AFTV Claude, it's time to go. It is time to go, David Teague. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all done.
I think when he was appointed as well, I don't know, Reece Shaw was appointed at the same time.
Mm.
And, you know, he came crashing down a bit, and North came crashing down a bit. And, you know, I just think as an interim, he just wasn't ready. But at that time, I thought he was ready, but look what happened now.
Yeah. Well, then it's also very important when you look at North now, they did the thing with Reece Shaw. Then they, you know, the end of that came quicker than what they had expected for other reasons. And you look at who they replaced him with, and it was David Noble, someone very senior, experienced in the game. And if we're going to do the same thing with Teague, to be honest, they said that we were going to do that when we got rid of Bolton. They said the next coach will be an experienced coach, and they didn't do it. So this time they actually have to do it.
Yeah, they have to. And then there has to be a 100% buy-in as well to the game plan. Like, yeah, we were, say, 60 points down at one stage, but there still has to be a bit of a, you know, an effort and a bit of a buy-in as well to say, you know what, so what that we're 10 goals down. We have to still fight and, you know, see if we can get something out of this, especially for Murph.
Yeah, 100%.
As well. Like our defensive system as well. Like our players were always running back to the defensive 50, running, you know, and just to try and get back in position. That's just it's really annoying.
Is this a culture problem, coaching problem, or player problem?
Probably a mix of the whole three, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. Awesome. All right, mate. Thanks so much for joining.
See you, mate.
See you, mate. Angus.
Day.
What's happening, my man?
Well, I was at the game.
You were at the game?
Yeah, behind the goals. This guy boy.
Oh, was that you with... Okay, I actually do remember seeing this now. When you said it in the comments here, I didn't know. Okay. Can you show us the flag again? Can you put it up for the camera? What does it say? Murph Magic. Did you make that?
Yeah.
How old are you?
14.
14. Look at you. What a legend. What a legend. What's your favourite Mark Murphy memory?
Probably the Freo game.
Yeah, the one from the banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. What did you think of today, mate?
Just after the second quarter, we just went to sleep.
That's very true.
Wiedering played well. I mean, the umpires didn't help, but that didn't really cause it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think there were a few decisions in that second, and then the boys just dropped their heads a bit, and then they never picked it up again, did they? Talk to me. How did you become a Carlton supporter? Is it your family?
Yeah, just born into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just move on to next week, and I don't know. Just I don't know. Apparently, Sard's injured badly. I don't know what's happened.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I saw he was crying, and people are asking about what happened, but
yeah,
I guess we'll find out soon. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good on you, Angus. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you.
See you, mate. Maddie.
Hi, Terry. That little kid was really cute, and it amazes me every week how much these kids know.
Yeah.
And just when you hear them talk, it's like, why doesn't the club listen to these kids? They seem to know what's going on.
Man, the kids of today are so smart, and for whatever reason, their parents, their uncles and aunties, like the generation beforehand, treat them like they don't know what's going on. They're the ones that are going to fix not just this club but the world.
Yeah,
so that's another conversation.
yeah. Just mention it to time next. I saw people on Facebook saying things like they felt ashamed to be a Carlton supporter after that game, and it was just that awful. And it made me think, I don't know whether it was me or maybe other people can relate, but if, like, when you were at school, especially during that Hawthorn era where they just kept winning all those flags. And people say, oh, what AFL team do you go for? You mentioned Carlton, and it's kind of like, haha, Carlton suck. Oh, that's the worst team. Like, you get vaguely teased for it. I just feel like that again, like that. I don't want to mention I go for them because you know what people are going to say.
It's like that. That's what it is.
It's just that kind of feeling.
We are that. The story that our families passed down to us about the great club, it could not be any different to what I have experienced in my life.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, a lot of the slightly older generation, 20s and a bit older, completely feel that. Like, the 15-year-old that was just on, I can't imagine how they feel. Like,
yeah,
they've seen probably even less than us.
It's crazy.
Like, there's, I know people mentioned it last week on the NAB AFL players, the kids that they have on.
Yep.
They had a Carlton girl, and she said, I've been to 27 games and seen Carlton win once.
It's heartbreaking.
Like 5 or something. Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy. What do you think of the kids? It was good to see Kemp and Durden and even Honey play a bit more.
I really like that Durden, Kemp, and Honey really got into it, and I like that Honey, okay, he messed up that first goal, or it didn't, pan out, but then the next goal was his, and he took it, and it just, okay, made a mistake, get back up, do it again. He had that effort, and everyone said it. All these players that are being paid $800K, over $500K, wrapped in cotton wool, and these kids are just getting into it and just playing like they depend on it, like their careers depend on it, and they do to some extent.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, that's really the only thing I was smiling about today. Like seeing Durds play, it's cool. Good to see him. Like he cracks in. He doesn't get a lot of the ball, but he's there to be a pressure guy, and he hits hard. And Honey, he looks so comfortable at the level. It's exciting because like it's a big preseason, and all of a sudden we don't need to rely on Eddie Betts anymore. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. But I don't know. Like, I love Eddie Betts, and my dad especially is a big fan. And this, will he play next year? Won't he? It's the same. Like, just give us some answers. Is T gone? Is Betts playing? What is happening? We need something from the board. Just give us. I get that they don't want to release the whole review. I can understand that some things need to be kept private and names. Give us something. Like, just some answers.
That's true. We need some clarity, Maddie. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks.
See ya. Alrighty. Last one.
No shortage of
Josh
areas.
Brody. Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
How you going?
I've been waiting a while, which is fine. If anything, it's a good thing that so many people are still keen to come on here and, I don't know, talk about it, talk through it, that you've been here for 2.5 hours. Look, there's a lot I disagree with, a lot I agree with from what's been said. I think what I probably want to start with is that I don't think this was our worst loss of the year, but it's the hardest. I think maybe because there's basically no more games, there's nothing to look forward to. I think the West Coast loss was the worst for lots of reasons, and there's no point going back on it. But at least it was like, oh, there's still some more games, and we can still make finals, blah, blah, blah. Now it's a bit like, okay, it's one more game. When's it going to end? And I think it's just hard. I was speaking to my friend before, who's a Hawthorn supporter, and just hit so hard that we've never had any. I've never had success at this football club. The closest we got was 2011, and that's a disaster.
Can you believe that was a decade ago?
Yeah, it's just so hard.
We haven't even gotten like remotely close to a semi-final again. Like not even like remotely close.
Yeah, and now and it's the hardest now because now is the time. And you spoke about it with Rocco, or you said it earlier that did we is this a fake mindset, or did we try to will it into existence? And I don't agree. I think our list is genuinely good, for whatever reasons, whatever's going on behind closed doors. It's not performing. Let's have this conversation that you've had with multiple people. Who's to blame, or who's rotting? Who doesn't care? I think like you said the players don't care, and I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
No, they don't care enough.
Okay, they don't care enough. I still disagree with that. I think
based on what?
There are some players that look like they don't care enough or at all. Fisher, probably one of them.
Late 7 tackles tonight, though. He was our team leading 7 tackles in the game today.
When you're laughing and smiling after the game, like, okay, so he's a good fine footballer. Like I don't know, whatever. I think he has a lot of talent, and injuries or development, whatever it is, he's not as good as what I thought he could be.
Okay.
7 tackles, so he played somewhat hard. Whatever, it's not his fault. I'm not here to blame him. I think when you see Kerno like tearing up after the game, Saad, I'm not sure if it was because of the game or because of the aggression, and I think maybe something to do with his faith and how he felt, but whatever. It's just so much Teague to me, and I've been on the Teague train, and I'm almost still not even offered as a coach, as what I think the club represents, and I want to give him more of a shot based purely on the fact that I think he's got the same shitty assistants that we've had for so long. It can't be him that's the issue, but maybe there is other things in the club that need to change. But he just sits there and he doesn't show emotion and he doesn't get angry. And when you see Clarko last week, they're winning by, I don't know, 3-4 goals, and he's on the phone yelling and he's getting angry and he wants everything to be perfect. And it's just like, why don't you have that? Why don't you have that emotion? Why don't you get angry? Someone said before, like, why don't you grab someone's jumper, get them into the right position, just like show something. And we've seen it one time with him, and it was Simo's last game or 300th or whatever it was last year. And that's what I think is the problem at the moment. But I just hope we don't sack him and get like Brad Scott or Voss or I don't know, one of these whatever coaches. Like if we're going to sack him and we're going to change things at the club, get the best, get Clarko, get Ross Lyon, have someone that will just scream at the players, show them tough love, just drill that into them. Because yeah, I can't take it anymore. I just sit there by myself. What the fuck? Like, what's the point of this? And I'm never not going to support Carlton, and I'm never not going to go to games, no matter how hard it is. As long as I believe that we are trying to win, we're trying to win, which... take it or leave it is whatever at the moment, but that we're not just in it for the profits and we're not just in it for the money, that there is genuine desire to be a premiership winning football club again, which can't believe that it's not that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Talking for the sake of it.
No, it's good. It's good to hear you get it off your chest. There's just so many different ways that we all hurt, and that's the important part. That there is no right or wrong. There just is. So it's good that you come on, shared it, and hopefully we're not sitting here talking about the same shit in 7 days from now.
Yeah, don't go watch my Carlton people episode again. It's the things that I was saying at that time last year or the start of this year, whenever it was. God, they're wrong.
You sat right here. You sat right there.
Yeah. I said, what did I say? That if we miss out on the 8, but it's because of one game or 2 games and we showed promise, then it's good. But fuck me, we haven't shown any promise.
Next minute, bottom 4.
Almost. Fuck.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Tez. Thanks
Appreciate it.
Thanks for sitting through the pain.
Love it. Take it easy, bro.
See you, mate.
Okay. That'll do me. Definitely feel better. I mean, there's not much more to say. Everything has been said. Most things, I think, everything's been said. Thanks to everybody that comes on and expresses themselves just properly. Like it's a real testament to the people that come on and express themselves. No one goes over the top. No one crosses the line. I think there's this fear with YouTube and social media and whatnot that the AFL and the industry don't want to get involved with because they don't know if they can control it. I just think you guys carry yourself so well. So well done to everyone. If you have been here for the whole 2 hours and 40 minutes, then you're just as psychotic as me. And I love that. One more week. I don't know what's going to happen from here. We'll just sort of take it in our stride. The show will go on. The shows will still air next week, and then we'll have next week's game. We'll do the reviews and everything, and then we'll talk a little bit about off season. That's going to be fun. We've got a lot of things planned as well. So have a good night, everyone. If you're in lockdown, which I think most of you are, take it easy. Premier League's on tonight. Reach out if you need to have a chat, and we'll go from there. Have a good one, and as always, go the Mighty Blues.